Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are currently ready to deploy. We've gotten everything ready to go, I believe. Let me just double check the mech bay here. I'm pretty sure it's good to go. Yes, fantastic. So we're still in the category of wanting to get ourselves a little bit more money. I'd like to get us up to around 10k in the bank account before we really start cranking the difficulty. But we're in a location to crank the difficulty, although there are no 9s available right now. Okay, that's fine. We don't need 9s right now. Ooh. Up over 3 million compensation? That's insane. Battle in the jungle. Straightforward job. Is a free priority salvage to boot, so we'd get over 2.5 million C-bills for this. Now that's before expenses, of course, but let's go ahead and do this. I think this is solid. So what are we going to bring? Well, we're going to bring all of these guys, of course. And that's it. That is it. That's all we're going to bring. We're good to go. So let's go ahead and do that. Darius, you're probably wrong. It's only a, what, 7.5 difficulty? Okay, that's not really an only 7.5 difficulty. This is one of the more difficult missions that we've done thus far, but we're not pushing the envelope here, is the important thing. Darius is probably wrong. We're probably completely fine here. But we should expect that they've got some artillery. That's for sure. The real question is starting to become, how are we planning on countering the increasingly large numbers of artillery that we're seeing? We've been using artillery for quite a long time because it's very difficult to counter. But now that we're starting to get to the point where the AI is using it against us, we need to start thinking about it. Now, part of that is just positioning, right? If you're sufficiently spread out, artillery has a hard time. That's definitely one counter. Another counter for Arrow 4 specifically is AMS, but AMS has a really hard time shooting down Arrow 4, so we'll have to think about that. For now, of course, we need to destroy the Draconis Combine units. Commander, local government surveillance teams have picked up what we believe to be the signature of an active patrol of Cretan mechs, engaging in reconnaissance near the borders of our holdings on this planet. This is technically not a violation of our sovereignty, but it's clearly provocative. We need you to send a message by destroying the patrol mechs. Should you encounter any other Cretan units, there will be a bonus for destroying those as well. We will encounter other Cretan units, for sure. A straightforward job, Commander. This kind of back and forth is typical on periphery worlds. Well, I don't think we're in the periphery right now, but sure. Okay, orbital surveillance suggests our targets are in this region. That is very behind a hill. We do have allies. We can't deploy on the hill. I'd love to deploy, like, up here. That's not an option. We can't deploy anywhere out this direction. We could technically deploy on this mountain. I feel like that's a bad idea. We could deploy out over this way, away from our allies. I think we're just going to deploy over here, though, and walk up the road here. Is going to be the idea, I think. We can also see that there are certainly some enemy deployments up here. So that should be fine. We'll deploy here, although I don't like that location. Nope. We'll just do this manually. Again, we're a little bit concerned about artillery being this clustered together, but let's see what happens. We have no idea if they even have artillery. They may or may not. Okay. Local government units out over here. They've got a rider on this marksman. And our allies do then have artillery. Shadowhawk, Ontos, and Atlas. Okay. And we don't immediately see the enemies. Fascinating. It did skip to round 3. There we go.
Looks like enemy reinforcements.
I don't know what this catapult's shooting at. Screen is currently locked. Okay, shooting at the Shadowhawk. It does have AoE components to it. We see an Archer, Apollo, Avatar, Dragon 2. Shooting at the Ontos. Okay. And what's this guy over here? That's a Warhammer 2C. Okay. Not too terrifying thus far. Although, we do have an edge of sensor range here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's probably 2 additional units out there. Okay. So we now know that this Dragon 2 is running an artillery. Interesting. So they're not super close together, as of right now. Although the Avatar moving over this way does make this a lot more attractive of a target for us. He is also running some form of mortar, perhaps? That didn't look like it did much. But this is definitely becoming a artillery target. Of course, our LOSers are going to want to run up the road. So, who are we going to move first? That will be the Mauler. The Mauler will sprint onto the road.
I copy.
And we'll just get moving there. Next up, the Marksman is going to fire on the Catapult. I would have preferred if it had fired on the Dragon, but the Catapult is, I guess, acceptable. The Salamander will sprint up onto the road as well and get climbing up this hill. Okay, next up is going to be our Magcat Mark II. Same story there. We want to climb up this hill.
Double time, let's go.
Yeah, we're stacked together a little bit for their artillery here, but that's okay for now. Our Corsair, once again, sprinting up the hill.
Bugging out.
Let's get up this hill as quickly as we can. The longbow is going to be a little bit more measured in what it wants to do. So let's check hit odds here. 23.8, 26.4 on the Archer. So technically the Archer is the best hit odds here. So we'll go ahead and Warlord that. And Artemis 4 is actually worse than standard ammo right now. So we'll just fire the standard ammo.
Knocking on target.
Got some armor strip on that Archer. That'll do. Our friend the Atlas shooting at the Catapult up there. That's okay. But there's definitely a couple of enemies out there that we don't currently see. The Warhammer dropping off of our sensors there. That's okay. The Bullshark is going to move on forward, but not very far forward. We're going to immediately begin focusing on that Dragon because it's got that arrow 4.
Locking on.
Reasonable damage there. We'll take it.
Commander.
The Annihilator, of course, needs to join the group moving up the road here.
Hauling at.
There we go. And we'll see what the Ontos does here. Continues to shoot at that catapult. Okay, they are doing some damage to it, that's for sure.
Hey.
The Boar's Head is going to move up over here.
Moving to position.
And we're going to continue to hit that Dragon 2.
Hope this is enough.
Not a great sniper artillery shot, much better on the Arrow 4. Okay. So the catapult closes in, shoots at the Ontos. I like it. That's very good for us. We'll see what that Archer does. Also shoots at the Ontos. Again, I love it. That's fantastic. The Apollo moves in, does not fire. Okay, that's shooting at the Bullshark. Bullshark can take that kind of damage, no problem.
Damage is minor, Commander.
Oh yeah, absolutely damage is minor. The Dragon 2 moves up, shoots at the Ontos. Again, that's perfect. That's exactly who we want them shooting at. Our Magcat Mark II is going to sprint as up the road as it can go. There we go. And we'll see what our ally does here. Shadowhawk is going to shoot at the Catapult. Gets a little bit of damage in there. I guess that's okay. The Avatar moves away from the dragon. That's a good move by them. And they're continuing to hit the Ontos with those mortars and getting absolutely nothing out of it. Interesting choice. Not one that I would have made. I would have targeted this cluster of units right here, probably by shooting at the Boar's Head. But we're going to move up the Corsair, up the road.
All right, full speed.
We need to get up onto this hill as soon as we can. The marksman is shooting at something. I think it was the catapult. Yeah.
Let's do this.
So the longbow is going to continue to advance here.
Position confirmed.
And we'll just check our hit odds. 18, 26 on that archer. 26 also on the Avatar. And actually those are thunderbolts, not mortars. 26 on the Apollo and 18 on the dragon. Okay, so we can fire on any of these. We're going to keep hitting the archer here,
Engaging.
since that's the one that we already did.
Yup.
The salamander is going to sprint on up the road,
Double time. Let's go.
looking to get into LOS ideally next round. We'll see if that happens.
Standing by.
The mauler, same story, sprinting up the road. Again, I'd love to get into LOS next round. I don't think that will happen. Okay, our friend the Ontos moves up, fires on that catapult, still stripping some armor off of it. That's okay.
Ready for
Our bull
order.
shark is going to step up over
Moving to
this
position.
way, and we are continuing to hit this dragon too. The arrow 4 that he's wielding is the biggest threat to us right now. We did get some internal damage there.
Take that.
So that's cool. Where is that internal damage? In this arm. That's where the ERPPC is. Where is the arrow 4? That torso. Okay.
What? No.
So, I mean, that's a ways away. We're going to move the boar's head out over here
Advancing.
as trying to spread out a little bit for that arrow 4 in case they decide to drop it somewhere useful. We're going to drop
Outside.
artillery on the dragon too, of course. That was a lot of damage to him.
Critical hit, Commander.
Excellent. Our friend the Atlas moves up, shoots at that catapult yet again. Gets very little
Awaiting
done.
orders.
Our Annihilator is going to continue to move on up the road.
Affirmative.
And we will see what our allies do. Nothing is the answer. Okay. Phase 20. That catapult backs off a little bit. I'm unclear what it's shooting at. I wish it would show us.
My armor's melting off. I'm losing armor bad.
Okay,
I'm
it shot
under
right
heavy
here.
fire.
So we're not
under heavy
surprised by
fire.
that. It's just a little bit of
Taking
armor
heavy
damage.
hits,
Not a
Commander.
big deal there. The real question is what happens with that arrow 4. Our friend the Shadowhawk moves up, fires on the archer this time. Only gets like 16 damage in there. Doesn't do a whole lot. The archer is going to shoot at the Ontos. We love it. That's fantastic. And the marksman moves up and fires on the catapult. Gets some decent damage in there, I suppose. That's fine. They're shooting at the Shadowhawk. That's perfect. We like that a lot. So next up
Aye,
is
aye.
going to be our Corsair. And the Corsair can make it up to here. Not quite in LOS. Sad. So the dragon moves now. Drops an arrow 4 on the Ontos. Perfect. Completely and totally irrelevant to us.
Waiting for
The
orders.
Madcat Mark II is going to make its way up the road as well, as much as it can. Definitely getting up here next round. So we'll have LOS on some of these guys. The Avatar closes in, fires once again on the Ontos, which is running low on armor. It's being a great distraction, though. The Mauler is going to move up to here,
Going full throttle.
up onto that road. And our Salamander. Do we get anywhere useful here? The answer is yes.
I got you.
So we get here, and we can fire on that catapult. AX? Probably AX. We're going to Warlord, and yeah, we fire AX here.
Here we go.
And that's a dead catapult.
Target down.
Fantastic. So with that done,
Standing by.
the longbow is going to continue to step forward over
On
here.
it.
We're going to check hit odds. 29% on that avatar, 26 on the archer, 26 on the Apollo, 23 on the dragon, and that's what we're going to take. We want to get through the armor on this dragon and hopefully
Here
get
we
it
go.
killed pretty quickly. Little bit of internal damage there,
Critical hit, Commander.
but overall, not too much good there. The Ontos also focusing on the dragon. That dragon's armor is paper thin at this point.
I'm
So our
ready.
bull shark is actually going to stay exactly where it's at. We're going to continue. No, we're not. The avatar and the archer are close together. We're going to soften this armor.
Confirmed.
That's a nice hit there. Excellent.
Yes, Commander.
The Annihilator is going to continue to sprint up the road
we
as
go.
best it can. Annihilators are not the fastest of beasts, but that's fine. The Atlas shooting at that avatar, not getting a whole lot done. I would have preferred that it fire on the dragon, in all honesty.
I'm here.
And our Boar's Head is going to advance up a little bit.
There. Okay.
Once again, we're going to fire on this archer.
You say so.
I believe that may be a knockdown on the archer, or very close to it. Yeah, that's a knockdown. Nice. Okay. So there's that Warhammer 2C out there. He's a ways out. We also see... What is this guy? A catapult. Out over there. Okay. So we know we've killed one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So there's one more unit that we don't see. The question is, where is that unit? The Shadowhawk moves up. Does not fire. The Archer right now is a pretty good artillery point. Thermobarracks completely missing there. Excellent. Enemy catapult moves up, fires on our bull shark. Gets some damage in there. We may want to move our bull shark into this cover. The dragon is going to fire on the Ontos. We love it. Beautiful.
Standing by.
Okay, so at this point, we start to get LOS. We're actually going to move the Corsair out over here,
Copy that.
and we're going to start working on this Apollo. I want to soften its armor. So we're going to go ahead and Warlord and hit this Apollo.
Firing.
Excellent. It is running a 40% damage reduction, but that's okay. Next up is our ally turn, the Marksman. We're hoping that it fires... It doesn't fire. But we're hoping that it fires on this Archer. That would have been better than not firing at all, but I don't know. Maybe it was out of ammo or something. Was it out of ammo? Probably not. Probably just refused to fire. The Archer moves up and shoots at the Ontos. We'll take a look at that ammo in a moment. The Ontos is very close to dead here. Yeah, it could have fired. It just chose not to.
Yes, boss.
The longbow is going to move up, and we're going to
On the move.
continue to hit the dragon with the longbow here.
Target confirmed.
Excellent. The dragon's out of here. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Okay.
Confirmed.
Next, our salamander is going to move in here.
I got you.
These two are grouped together for artillery, so the salamander is going to go for the Apollo. And do we fire AX here? Honestly, I think we fire improved at this range.
I'm on him.
That's a lot of damage to that Apollo. And a knockdown. Beautiful. Okay, so next up is going to be the Madcat Mark II, which does actually get LOSs here.
Got it.
Perfect. The Mad Cat Mark II is going to finish off this Apollo. I want it dead. We will Warlord to boost those odds. The odds aren't great at this range. The Mad Cat Mark II is not really optimized for this range. But that doesn't matter. It's out of here.
Mech destroyed.
Perfect. The Ontos moves up, fires on the Archer. Gets an engine crit there. Okay, cool.
Yes, Commander.
So our Bull Shark is kind of making for the cover over here,
going.
and we're going to drop the artillery, I think, on the Avatar right now.
Roger that.
Strange firing, but okay.
Receiving you.
The Mauler is going to move on up here. It doesn't quite get an LOS to do any mauling, but it's very close. The Atlas is going to fire on that Archer. Getting a little armor damage, that's fine. Okay. AP Gauss of some sort? Where was that? The Warhammer 2C, perhaps. Yeah, that was probably the Warhammer 2C, is my guess.
Aye, aye.
Our Annihilator is going to sprint up the road. It'll get into
On my
LOS
way. Double
next
time.
round. And this is their unit that we don't see. Okay. It's running a Gauss and dual PPCs. And actually, we do see it now. It's a Marauder 2. Cool.
Hey,
So the Boar's Head is going to advance up over this way, and we're going to drop our artillery on this Avatar.
copy that. Firing Alpha Strike.
It's a lot of damage, but it's not dead yet. Okay. So next round, they immediately are going to move their Archer and fire on the Ontos. That's probably a kill. Surprisingly, they don't take it out. Okay.
Good to go.
Our Mad Cat Mark II is going to move in over this way.
Roger that.
It's going to go for the kill on the Avatar, which has not yet moved. I do believe that this is a kill. There we go. That was a close thing, but we got what we needed in the end.
My mech is overheating.
Oh yeah, I'm well aware. Excellent. So they've got the 3 mechs up over there. A little bit of damage to the longbow. We don't really care too much about that.
I'm here.
The Corsair is going to move in over this way. And it actually has a decent LOS out over here. Let's actually start hitting that Warhammer 2C. Soften that up a little bit.
Roger.
Nice. And the reason I did that was because we can very easily take out this Archer with the Salamander. The Salamander is going to look to drop some heat here. We're not going to fire the ATMs. And we only need one MRM-40, in my opinion, here.
10-4.
There we go.
Enemy eliminated.
3 enemies remain. Now our Mauler is going to move up here.
Locking in
And
coordinates.
it does have LOS on both of these. The Warhammer 2C is 38%, and we'll take that, but those aren't amazing odds. We'll go ahead and Warlord it. And fire on this guy.
Confirmed.
We did hit one of those. That's a lot of damage.
Scored a critical hit.
Oh, and we got a through armor crit, too. Nice. We don't know on what,
Waiting for orders.
but that's fantastic. The longbow will move up, and hit odds are looking 21% versus 16. So we'll fire on the Warhammer. Oh, that was right in the CT that we hit that, actually. We are actually through the armor on the CT of that.
Wait your command.
So the Bull Shark is going to move up over here. These guys are not grouped together, so we're actually going to drop the artillery on the Catapult since we don't have an LOS on that.
Taking the shot.
Okay, decent hit there, stripping some armor off.
What now?
The Boar's Head is going to move up and do the exact same thing, continuing to hit that Catapult.
Targeting for an Alpha Strike.
Not great on the sniper artillery. The Arrow 4 was a much better hit. That's actually a knockdown on the catapult. Nice. Okay, let's see what our allies do. Shadowhawk moves up and fires on that catapult. I like it. Only doing 4 damage, but it's okay. Better than nothing. Warhammer going for the Mad Cat with his AP Gauss. That's not shocking. Or rather, is that a Hyper Gauss? Yeah, Hyper Gauss. Okay. Well, we've got the CT exposed on that Warhammer,
Commander?
so that's fine. The Annihilator is going to sprint up over here. We're hoping
Copy
for this
that.
to be a clear enough line of fire. Warhammer 2C is 24%. Yeah, we'll pot shot this. I don't think we'll stray shot the guys that are in front of us, but we'll see. Oh, that was a solid hit there. We did break the armor somewhere else. The artillery vehicle moves up and again doesn't fire. Very rude. The Marauder 2 closes in over this way, goes for the Salamander, actually gets a structure exposure on it.
Armor breach. Internal damage.
Indeed. So that's a heavy Gauss that it's running. Good to know. Okay. The Marksman moves up, does actually shoot. We don't know at what. Oh, it dropped it over on the Warhammer 2C. That's fine. So we now know that the Marauder 2 is running a heavy Gauss. And where is that structure exposure on the Salamander? In the left torso here. Well, we can't afford to lose the left torso, that's for sure. The Corsair is going to move out over into this rough terrain and hope that that baits them into attacking us. But we're going to go for the Warhammer here because the hit odds are much better. And we could easily get a kill. We destroyed the HA-20 Gauss. That's something. The Shadowhawk moves up, shoots at that catapult, which is still downed. Okay.
How's it going?
So the longbow is going to move up over here. We could probably get a kill on the Warhammer with the longbow, but I want to see what the hit odds are on the catapult. 21%. Yeah, let's go for the kill on the Warhammer.
Roger that. Target confirmed.
There we go. 1 dead Warhammer.
Hope we can salvage that.
So now we need to eliminate this Marauder 2, and the question is, how do we want to go about doing that? Well, the Madcat Mark II is going to advance forward over this way and
Run,
sink
don't
its
shoot.
feet.
Got it. Aye, aye.
And the Mauler is going to stay exactly where it's at, and we're going to pot shot way out there with our heavy Gauss. Odds are low, but we'll see what we get.
Target.
We did actually hit him. The catapult stands up. Now he's got those enhanced LRM-15s. He goes for the marksman. That's okay.
I'm here.
Cool. So the Boar's Head is going to move up, and
Okay,
honestly, the
let's go.
biggest threat to us right now is this Marauder 2. So we're going to hit the Marauder 2 and hope to make him unsteady and trim off some of that armor. Not good artillery shots there, I can tell you that. Okay. So the Ontos moves up and doesn't fire.
They will be done.
The Bull Shark is going to continue to advance a little bit here, and we are going to go for the Marauder.
Locked and loaded. Here it comes.
An okay artillery shot, but not great.
Standing by.
Our Annihilator is going to move in over this way where it has a clearer shot. We're going to hope that we hit him with a heavy Gauss, but odds are pretty low at this range. Yeah, no luck. Now, we haven't gotten to move the Salamander yet, but it moves now. And to that end, we're going to actually sprint it over here, out of LOS. No LOS for them. The Atlas moves up, shoots at the catapult. Sounds good. So we'll see what the Marauder does here. That heavy Gauss could hurt. At this range, it's fairly unlikely to hit, but we'll see. They shoot at the marksman, and they do miss. Good. Okay. Cool. So next up is the marksman, which will fire on the catapult. That's fine. It actually breaches the armor. Good.
Commander.
So the longbow is going to move up, and we're going to check our hit odds, although I think that we're going to go for the catapult here. Yes, the same hit odds, but we could potentially kill the catapult. So we're going to need to switch one of these over to Artemis 4, which is not ideal, but otherwise this'll do.
Firing on target.
Some internal damage into the catapult there.
Reporting. Critical hit.
And we did get a crit. That's good.
I am out of LRM.
Shadowhawk moves up, also fires on the catapult, and doesn't really get anything of note. Oh, it does get a knockdown. I guess that's of note. That's the second knockdown on that catapult.
Ready.
So the Madcap Mark II is going to sprint in over this way. We're looking to advance on this Marauder. We are out of range to fire on it right now.
Standing by.
The Corsair will move in slightly and fire on that Marauder. Hit odds are okay. We'll see about removing some armor from it. Okay, there's 44 armor off of it. CT. Yeah, CT is actually getting quite low. Only 70 armor left. Our Salamander could dip in over here. We'd want to protect our left-hand side. So we could do something like this. I will Vigilance it as well. And we could fire improved MRMs at this guy. We can even Warlord him to boost the odds in the clustering. Let's do it. We could theoretically get a kill. Unlikely, but we could get a kill. We did make him unsteady,
Yes, Commander.
which is very good for our heavy Gauss wielders. We're going to leave the Marauder exactly where it is and fire this.
Target confirmed.
Ooh, we did get a hit there. Now, he does get to move, except it's the catapult moving. He doesn't move until phase 15. Fascinating. So that heavy Gauss hit his CT, didn't it? Maybe. I'm not sure where that heavy Gauss hit. But our Bull Shark is going to move up,
I'm walking here.
and we're going to hit the Marauder too. I want to get a knockdown on him. There we go. That actually managed to hit both of them, which is great. We're very happy about that. So that's a knockdown on that Marauder too. The Ontos moves up and does nothing. The Atlas moves up and fires on the Marauder too. Gets some armor stripped off. That's neat.
Awaiting orders.
Our Annihilator is going to close in over this way.
That.
And we're going to look at the Marauder 2 here. Odds are not as good as I was hoping, but they'll do.
Firing on target.
Okay, you fired off target, but we'll let it slide. Yes, you did miss.
What? No.
The Boar's Head is going to move up over here. And we are once again dropping artillery on this Marauder 2. This could easily be a kill.
Hey.
We crit the engine core, but we didn't get a destruction on it.
Things are looking up.
Okay, so the Marauder 2 gets up, and let's see what it does with that heavy Gauss. The pilot should be pretty rattled, so there's that. Backs out of the fire, not in cover, goes for the Corsair. It does get a hit, but it does not break the armor. Beautiful. Our allies not really doing anything of note there, but that's fine. Our Salamander is going to stay exactly where it's at, and we are going to finish this Marauder. I do expect this to kill.
Engaging target.
And there we go. The Marauder 2 is out of here, leaving just the catapult remaining. Beautiful.
I'm here.
So our Corsair does not have LOS unless we come all the way out over here, but we will definitely take this LOS. And can we Warlord? Yes, we can. The catapult has very little armor left, and let's see what we get.
Confirmed.
Some reasonable damage there.
Scored a critical hit.
Artillery firing on that catapult, and that's actually an engine destruction into a kill. Beautiful. So that wasn't too bad. I mean, we did take a little bit of internal damage on the Salamander, but it wasn't like broad armor reduction. It was very localized due to that heavy Gauss round. So all things considered, we didn't take very much damage. I'm quite pleased with that. That went very well. Very well indeed. It would have gone a lot faster had we not had the LOS issues, but we also probably would have taken more damage. So it kind of worked to our advantage in a way. In a weird sort of way. In terms of our salvage here, what are we interested in? Warhammer 2C part? The Marauder 2 part? Actually, the Marauder 2 part. We'll take that. We got an HA-20, and we got a half ton of listen kill SRMs. I guess we'll keep them. And tandem SRMs. I guess we'll keep them too. The gas rifle HA-20 is nice to have around as a decent option. So that'll be good. And of course, we got quite a lot of pay for that. Before our expenses, it was 2.5 mil. I didn't look at what the bonus was, and I didn't look at how much our actual post-expenses income was, but it'll be pretty substantial. I should have looked at that, but I just clicked right on through. In terms of repairs, I'm not expecting it to be too high, under 200,000 C-bills for sure. So that will be absolutely great. And I'm not expecting it to take too long either. I'm expecting the length of it to be quite short. So we'll be able to deploy again in short order. That will be wonderful. Yeah, 110,000 in 18 days. Beautiful. We've got 25 days until the financial report, and it's not actually going to take 18 days because of our simultaneous repairs. So that is excellent. We'll just do something like that. Yeah, this is not going to be too bad at all. This is going to take like 7 total days to repair. Sounds good. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we'll get these repairs done and head out again yet this month. We are going to hit that 10 million mark very soon. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.